Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are back with Timea Urban, the urban healer from Canada, but she works with you everywhere around the world. It's so many different healing modalities. As a registered nurse, she started off, and she's also Eastern, Western medicine, holistic, believes in everything, and she can teach you a lot of things as a Reiki master, as a friend, as a coach, and so much more. Welcome to the show again today, Timea.
Hello. Always a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please introduce yourself to us.
Okay, so my name is Timea Urban, the urban healer. I'm based out of Toronto, but I do work virtually, so I can work with anyone, anywhere. I started off my healing journey as a registered nurse, been a nurse for a decade. And since then, I've moved a little bit more into energy healing and more the overall body, not just the physical body. So I'm a Reiki master, I'm a life coach. I focus on energetic alignment in all aspects of your mind, body, and soul. And I also love doing other things like EFT, NLP, anything to do with the brain, but it has to all come together. So it's never just Western medicine, a little bit of Eastern medicine to have that perfect balance.
Beautiful. And for those that may not know today, tell me what happened. You had surgery?
Yes. So I had surgery on my mouth, which is not ideal when you talk for a living. Yeah. So I had a root canal that went wrong a couple years ago, and I've always had issues with it. And then all of the doctors kind of just brushed it off and were like, "You're fine. It's just you. Maybe you grind your teeth." And I'm like, something's wrong. And again, I am not to say Western medicine doesn't work, but you always have to look at the whole picture. And sometimes things can get missed. I didn't have a fever. I didn't have a white blood cell count, but I had weird headaches. I was super tired and things just felt off. And I've changed dentists a few times, thousands of dollars of imaging and additional work on it. And it turns out I had a massive abscess and cyst in my jaw, and my tooth was completely like rotten. And even like when I was with my dentist, I was like, "Hi, it's a different color and it hurts." And like, "No, you're fine." So when I went to go see another dentist, he's like, "This can turn into sepsis or like osteomyelitis or endocarditis, or like this tooth needs to come out immediately," which was great because I didn't get to be scared about the surgery. It was like, "I'm going to do it on my lunch break," and boom, tooth came out. And I was like, okay. So that was fun.
Well, you sound good. How are you feeling now? Better?
I'm okay. Like I think I never realized how much I love chewing things. And now I'm on a bit of a soft diet, which is not as satisfying. But overall, like everything's better. My energy's better. My headaches are gone. The pressure's gone. I'm sleeping better. Like even like my partner's like, "You're kind of hyper." I'm like, "This is my normal amount of energy."
Did you have ear pain at all? Just curious.
Yeah.
Okay, I went to the ENT yesterday morning, and like my job knows, since January, if I had an earache, I had that bad cold, and it lingered. I kept going to the doctor. Finally saw the ENT. He says, "I see no fluid." I said, "Well, the regular doctor saw it 2 weeks ago, still from January." And he tells me yesterday, "Okay, you need to see an oral surgeon. Maybe you have TMJ." I said, "Well, can't we do some imaging on my head? Like, there's something. If you don't see fluid there, and this is throbbing and it's hurting for 3 months," he's like, "Well, go see the oral surgeon, see what they say." And I'm like, if it's TMJ, I'm like, "What's TMJ?" And I'm like, "I don't feel pain here. It's in my ear." But again, so now, and I have to see a specialist ENT. He's like, "Maybe you have a cyst in your nasal cavity. I feel something." I said, "Okay, but that's here." I said, "But this is," so again.
You know what? Check out acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine, because sometimes it's more energetically based.
Okay.
And it's like, again, it's like sometimes Western medicine can't pick it up. And I'm not saying Western medicine doesn't work, but I think you should always get a second opinion and look at it from a different angle. Because if you're having an issue and a certain practitioner can't find the answer, then maybe they're just not the right practitioner. No offense to them. You need to see it from a different angle. So consider traditional Chinese medicine and do acupuncture, because they can sometimes realize that there's energy that gets caught, and it can actually mean something else, that there's an imbalance overall in your body. But it's like ear and jaw and teeth pain, like that's no joke. Like it is uncomfortable. Like it feels like your brain's going to explode. Yeah.
I'm glad you're on the men's ear today. And also just want to point out for today's conversation, we are talking about power in a sense, right? And we all have our own sense of power, but it's time to get our own power back and really take control in a sense, and how to stand in your power. So let's talk about today about some of the ways to really step into your power. How do we do that and feel more empowered?
Absolutely. So the first thing, which people will not want to actually hear, is you have to take responsibility for where you are. And we've all had things happen to us that were unfortunate, that were out of our control, but you're here now. And there's certain things that you may have allowed to happen, or you didn't set boundaries, or you let things go for too long. Like I know when I was nursing, I was incredibly exhausted and burnt out, but I continued to nurse. And I was like, I hate night shifts, and then continued going to my night shift. So there's always something you can alter and change. So wherever you are, accept where you are. You have to make peace with your past, and then give yourself permission to have no judgment, no stories, no blaming, no victimhood. And again, sometimes horrible things happen to you, and I acknowledge that, but you clenching onto the victim role gets you nowhere. So you need to just let that go. What are the facts? Where are you now? Where do you want to go? Kind of get rid of the extra emotional stuff and just like, what are the facts? Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
This is where I'm starting. This is where I want to go. How do I get there? Not like I got here because, and then it's like, that is just lost energy. So one thing that I always do, which is like, this always catches me. When I get upset over something, I ask myself, when I'm $1 million business owner and I'm a CEO, would I care about this? Does this matter? Does it? But does it? No, it doesn't. Yeah. And it's like, if somebody says something bad about you, or someone like judges what you do for a living, like a lot of my nurse friends, my previous colleagues were like, what you do, what? You get paid for this? This is stupid. And I was like, got it. You hate your job and I get paid more now. So just wondering, who's the silly one here?
Oh, just saying. To judge someone?
But it's like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm like, you can think whatever you want. If you want me to show you how I did this, I would love to share that. But if you don't, you can enjoy where you're at because you've chosen to be there. So ask, would you care if you were this like CEO or this $1 million business owner? Like, would you care? Or when you get to the thing that you actually want and desire, would you care? No, you 100% wouldn't. So then that kind of like puts things into check of like, well, then why are you worrying about it now? If you're trying to align to something and elevate your mindset and your energy and everything, it's like, stop thinking about things that are down here when it just, at the end of the day, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Brings you down. My goodness, we got to stay with positive people as well who help bring us up in that energy vibration, as you say. So become aware of what your heart's desires are. So
absolutely.
Writing
so that's
down.
A big question as well of like, sometimes people are like, okay, well, like I need to go to school and then I'm going to get the job and then I'm going to work Monday to Friday. And then I need to get married and then I'm going to have the 2 children and then I need to go get the dog. And then there needs to be the house and there has to be the bigger house. But then it's like, do you want to get married? Do you actually want children? Do you want the house? Because like for me to live in the suburbs would be like the death of my soul. Like I cannot live in the suburbs. It's just not my thing. So it's like, it's okay if what you want isn't what everyone else thinks you should want. So then you need to also be really clear. Like, am I trying to chase a dream that's not even mine? It was just something that was handed down. And like very often it's like parents are like, do you want to become a doctor, lawyer, an accountant? And you're like, no, I want to draw. And then parents are like, no, doctor, lawyer, accountant. But then you get there and then you're like, I hate my job. Well, where does that get you? Nowhere. You might be getting paid good money, but you don't like it. Yeah. So then what's that worth? So it's like, get clear. What do you want? What do you really want? What feels good for you to want? And like, I didn't plan on becoming a life coach, and my family absolutely did not approve of this. You're like, you're nuts. You're leaving your science degree and your nursing career. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, it's just not aligned. And even when people might not see the bigger picture, if this is what makes you happy, you've got to do it. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to get you to living the life that you actually love and desire. So really just check in. What do you want? What feels good? And then lean into the being mode, not just the doing mode. It's not just like check. It's like, I like this and this is important to me and I'm going to actually enjoy it. So it's like even the little things of when you're eating, don't like shovel in the food, but it's healthy food. So it's like, okay, check, I got my kale, but like chew the kale and like actually chew the kale. I can't chew kale right now and I'm sad. Yeah. So chew the kale, but then enjoy it and take a moment to like appreciate what you have and then move forward from that. So then again, if you had no fear of judgment or failure, what would you be doing with your life? Is it this? Because often we're just scared that someone's going to be like, you're an artist, or like, oh, this is all you do. And it's like, who cares? If you love what you do, it's worth doing what you love and desire so you can wake up happy every single day.
That's true. You're right. God bless you and all you've done because, oh my gosh, and we need to, I guess, be less attached to those that have those negative vibes to them, right? So more alignment, less attachment in a sense.
Absolutely. And this one's a little bit tricky because, like, for example, if you're a business owner, you do have attachment to signing the client and the client paying you because that's how you pay for your life. So then when somebody, let's say, says they're going to sign up and then they don't sign up, or let's say somebody signs up and then change their mind, you're just like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Oh my goodness, what did I do wrong? And then you have this like almost like this grappling energy of like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it's like very like scarcity mindset and it doesn't feel good. So what if you created, let's say, a program and you made this program with your heart and soul and you just put it out there. But then it's like that in between before people actually like sign up, or let's say you're a new coach and you're still starting out. So it's like you don't have a lot of people wanting to sign up yet because they don't know who you are. It's like that in between that it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like, one, how am I paying my mortgage? And then two, what if I do fail and then everyone's right? And it's our ego takes over. But then it's like, allow yourself to let go of what it should be and what the outcome is. So it's like, I desire to call in the right clients and make their lives better. But that might not necessarily be like they purchased this and paid for this. It can be they're following you for a while and they purchase something later. And that's okay. And it's like really dropping the meaning of what that is. Like even like a lot of my clients who are like, well, I'm trying to date and meet somebody. It's like, well, I'm not meeting the right person. What's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. Or it's like, I'm not making more money in my business. I'm not good enough. And it's like, no, there's just things that you can maybe tweak. And regardless whether made you whether you made $100 or $10,000, your worth and value as a human does not change. So just do the thing that you want and you desire, but then like kind of surrender and let go, which again is scary and hard to do. And like, I still need to like check myself with that. So I'm not saying like, oh, it's so easy, just do it. So just know that sometimes when something doesn't work out a certain way, it's because something better, more aligned is coming. But then be patient. Like it might just be around the corner.
Yeah.
And like, this is huge for people who are like dating and they're like, okay, but I'm 30, so I don't have babies. So that means I'm dating you, which means we're going to get married and have a baby. But I'm like, what if you waited one extra year and then you actually met your soulmate? What if?
Yeah.
So be open to the possibility of whatever is out there is meant for you and it's coming, and it might even be better than you ever anticipated. So know that what you desires you, and what you want is already yours. But it does need to get here. Like even with Amazon, it's not like immediate. Like, can we just be real about that?
Yeah. Now, yeah. How do you allow yourself to open up and to receive in a sense?
Absolutely. And that's like a big one for being open to receiving, just because people struggle with that. And like, I have clients, like so many clients who can't even take a compliment and they get uncomfortable. Like one of my best friends who I love, and she's one of the most incredible humans alive. If I give her a compliment, she's like, oh God, she's like cringing. I was like, what? Stop, receive. And it's like, that's literally how everything works in life. It's like, you make money, you spend money, then you get more money, and then money goes over here. You inhale, you exhale, you eat, you go to the washroom. It's like, you can't just eat, and never go to the washroom. We're like, hello, that doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So it's like, send out love, receive love, give a compliment, get a compliment. And it's like, you love giving compliments. Like if you're saying something nice to someone, you don't want someone to be like, oh my God, no. Like, that's just awkward. Like, just say thank you. Like, you just made it awkward for yourself and the other person. So let yourself receive and know that it doesn't need to be like complicated. And again, it's like not, you need to be a certain worthiness of receiving. You just are. So like, start small. Someone says, oh my goodness, I love your shirt. Oh, this whole thing. Oh, it was on sale. How about thank you?
Yeah.
I like the shirt too.
It's so hard to take compliments. It's like,
but just do it.
Yeah.
Just smile. Thank you. Perfect. And then give a compliment back, or next person you see, give them a compliment, and then like allow that to be a beautiful little ripple through your day.
Yeah. Very good. All right. So I got to open up. I got to open to receive. Because if you're closed minded, or if you're closed, if you're negative thinking, you tell me it's not coming our way. Like the energy, like how do you explain that as a Reiki master in the energy situation of flow in a sense? If we're just Debbie Downer negative all the time and just closed in a sense, it doesn't come our way.
Well, it's going to be laws of attraction. And it's also
Yes.
going to be like, what filter are you using to look at life? If you are constantly like, oh, bad things always happen to me, everything always goes wrong. Oh my goodness, look, this happened. And then this happened. It's like your brain is programmed to look for all the things that have gone wrong. And like, hello, like everyone's life has bumps along the way. And like, I didn't really want to have a giant surgery in the middle of my week. That was completely unplanned. Like that was inconvenient. And like, even I was like, am I going to be like bruised? Will I be able to speak? Like I speak for a living. Like, I'm just like, this is not ideal. Thank you. But hey, it came out. So happy. This could have turned into something much bigger. I'm blessed for that doctor who took me in that moment and gave me that procedure. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's like looking for what is working. And it's like when you have a certain belief, people are kind, you will continuously find kindness all around you. If you're like, no one can be trusted, you're going to see the like person who says something rude to a homeless person. You're going to see the person who doesn't hold the door open for you. You're going to get the cashier who's like glaring at you and doesn't even say hello. And you're like, see, this is the world. Everyone's evil. But if you allow yourself to see the good and you appreciate the good and you're like really grateful for it, you're going to continuously see that, because then you're going to program your mind to see that as being the norm. Both exist, light, dark, good, bad, kind, unkind. It all exists at all times, but it's choosing to see what you're going to see. And it doesn't make life less or more dangerous. It's just, you're just choosing to see what's good.
Now, what about integrity? You mentioned integrity in your notes. What exactly is integrity to start for those that may not know?
Well, integrity is having like what you say you stand behind. And like, we are not good with this ever. I'm going to start my healthy eating Monday, and then Tuesday it goes downhill. Or you know what? Off my phone by 9, 100%, zero chance. I'm not going on Instagram. 10:30, still scrolling. Okay, you know what? I'm going to start meditating, and I'm going to meditate every day for 10 minutes. Works for 2 days. Third day, what is meditation? It's not, I'm busy. I don't have time for this. So then you literally just told yourself you're going to do something, and then you literally drop the ball. And then your mind's like, okay, so your word means nothing. Cool. So next time when you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm really going to work towards this goal, your mind literally is like, okay, sure you are. I don't believe you because you never do it. And no judgment. We don't sometimes have that discipline and make the time. There is enough time, period. There just is. The amount of time we waste throughout a day is ridiculous, and no judgment. I've done it too, and I still do it. There is enough time. There is enough time for 10 minutes of meditation. There is enough time for 20 minutes of you going for a walk, which can be your movement practice. There is enough time for you to grab some like spinach and add it to your smoothie. And then you're like, okay, add a little more greens. I'm eating a little healthier. There just is. So you need to have integrity with yourself and with others. And it's actually more important with you, because your subconscious mind, if it doesn't view you as a boss and it doesn't view you as someone who like says it and does it and it has that like authority, then your mind's kind of like, whatever. It's like with a kid, like literally you're talking to a child and you feel like, don't do that. If you do this, I'm going to do this. And the kid does, and you do nothing. The kid's like, perfect. I get to do whatever I want. Exactly the same thing. So then if you're going to do something or say something that you're going to do it. But then if you can't get it all done, maybe your to-do list is like crazy and no one can get that done. So what about sticking to one thing you're going to do that day and then actually doing it? Okay. And the thing that I would maybe say for that one is if you wanted to just, yes. Okay. No
so
worries.
One day, I said one day at a time. Okay. Sorry.
Yes, no worries. Yes. So absolutely do one day at a time and just focus on one thing you want to work on, and don't overdo it. If you have like 1,000 things on your to-do list, you're not going to get it done, and you're literally setting yourself up for failure. So make your word law. And that is something that sometimes people struggle with.
A list like this, a to-do list of things that don't get checked off every day. Yeah. Thank you. I keep
Is there
that
a
on my
back?
desk.
Is there a back end to that? And it sounded like there was like multiple
No,
sheets.
no, the back was just scribbles. No, it's
Okay,
just
well, that's
bullet point.
okay.
Okay.
How about using a highlighter and then choosing one thing?
Okay.
And then the next day, one thing. And then
And
the next day, one thing, as opposed to looking at it, freaking out, and then
I freak.
finding another thing to do that does not matter.
All right. Thank
Guilty
you.
as charged.
Yeah,
Right.
we all are. I don't feel so bad. All right, good. So we talk integrity. And you were saying make your word law. Can you just explain that?
If you're going to say you're going to do something, do it. And this
Got
also has to do with things like when people are consistently running late, you're not only disrespecting the other person who you've kept waiting, but you've actually disrespected yourself for not showing up on time. And that is like one of the first steps of just be on time. And it's funny because like, I mean, guilty again. I used to do this all the time. Be like, oh, the streetcar was late. Okay. You know, the streetcar is super inconsistent. Leave 15 minutes earlier. Oh, but there was traffic. Yes, there's snow outside and there's
Of
probably
course
going to be
there's
traffic.
but
Yeah. So then it's just like plan ahead, but like be mindful of it. And like the one thing that I did know for myself with running late, if you're constantly running late to a certain thing, whether it's your job or whether it's hanging out with a certain person,
avoidance.
energetically, you're like, I really just don't want to go. I just don't know. So then check in. Do you like hate your job? Maybe it's time to look for something else. Do you not enjoy spending time with a certain person because every time you leave, you have a headache and you're energetically drained? Stop hanging out with them. Super important. This one's a big one. And it's like, if you want to actually get things done in life, you need to have consistency and integrity with your word.
Oh, yeah, I'm one of those people always late. Gosh, I was 3 minutes late yesterday to my son's little Easter thing. And I'm like, I'm always running late. I got to stop it. But it's also my taxes are still not done. Oh, taxes.
Oh, neither are mine.
Yeah. Procrastination, guilty as charged.
Literally what I'm going to do today, the moment I'm off on our call, is taxes.
Good. I hope awesome.
Surgery. Stop it. Just why didn't you get them done earlier?
I know, right? It's so crazy, but that's what we do. We're procrastinators, but doesn't have to. By the way, it says our internet connection is unstable on my end. I hear you. I see you. You hear me. You see me.
Yes, we're good.
I don't think that's ever popped up before on my screen.
Okay.
Energy.
Well, seems to be okay.
No, I'm saying that's your energy. See, I've never seen those words on my screen as I'm looking at us. Okay. So what about would you say why is it so hard to show up for yourself, but you will bend over backwards for everyone else? Is that part of the same
people pleasing? And often what I've seen with some of my clients is if you've had an unstable childhood, let's say inconsistent parenting, or you had a lot of turbulence in your childhood, you're literally programmed to, how can I make things better? How can I make everyone happy? Well, if my parents are happy, they're not going to yell, or like, oh, if I like make sure my siblings happy, then they're not going to fight and they're not going to pick on me. And it's like, you just want to like smooth everything over, and you've just learned to become a people pleaser. And that's like a lot of nurses are people pleasers because they go into literally a healing profession where how can I bend over backwards for you and like do it all? But then it's like, why did you feel the need to go into that profession? And not in a bad way, but just like, maybe this is a pattern that you're living through. Maybe a lot of your family members are healers as well, but then they overdo all the time at their own expense, and they don't know how to set boundaries.
And now let me ask you this. So we talk about integrity. We talked about a lot today about our power. What else do you have for us? We still have 5 minutes left in the show, Timea. What's next on tap?
Now, this one I feel like is something a lot like everyone struggles with. And this is like one of those things that you will for the rest of your life work on. Are you able to have more on top of more? Everyone always thinks the other shoe's going to drop. Something really good happened. Now something bad's going to happen. Oh, I just got a bonus at work. Oh, my car just broke down. And it's like people have this belief that things just can't be great and stay great and then get better and then even better, because that's not how it works. Why is that not how it works? That's you don't trust the universe and you're nervous about the disappointment of losing something. So you'd rather kind of manifest smaller disappointments because then you aren't going to be disappointed over the big thing. So why not? Why can't it be, yes, please, more, please? Why can't it be more on top of more? Why can't everything just start expanding and feel amazing? And it's like, this is the basis of one of the group coaching programs that I run of why can't you have happiness in your like partnership, in your friendship, love your career, get paid really well, have time for self-care. Why? Why can't you? Why do you need to choose? I'm like, oh, well, if I'm really good with my partner, I don't see my friends. Okay, well, I got this great promotion at work and I love it, which means my self-care is going to go down the drain. Why? That's a ridiculous belief people need to reprogram because it's keeping them stuck and it's keeping themselves small. And also make sure that you're not expanding and you're not raising your vibration. So then you're staying at a lower vibration when really your potential's way up here. So what if the universe wanted you to have everything? And like, think of the universe and whatever you believe in, whether it's God, whatever it is, this entity loves you. You're its child. Like, you want everything and more for your children. You're not like, oh, you're too happy. Oh, let's just bring it down a notch, please. No parent has ever thought that about their children. Why would the universe think that about us? More, please. Yes, please. Keep it going. Things can just get better and better and better. And when you allow yourself to even lean into the possibility that that's a truth, things will just continuously get better. And you'll notice little miracles popping up. And like this dentist, he ended up charging me $3,000 less for what I was supposed to get done with another dentist who didn't even diagnose me properly. That was a miracle. Thank you. Yes, please. More, please. Please. Yeah. So focus on the good, focus on gratitude, and focus on like seeing what's working and then appreciating it, but knowing that there's more to come. And it doesn't mean that you have to work harder or it's at the expense of something else. Things can literally just get better because they do. Because you're worthy of living the life that you desire, because you are, period. No and if, but, no, none of that. Like this, no thank you. It's just like, yes, please, more, please, thank you. Yes, please, more, please, thank you. And it can just continuously get better.
Positive reinforcement and keeping that mindset in a happy state of mind and keeping it positive, I think kind of adds to abundance, as you would say, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, this comes with consistent inner work. And it's the way I always describe it is you're not going to clean your bathroom once a year. That's ridiculous. And that's disgusting. Why would you? Can we just be real there? Like, ew, are you going to sit in that tub? I'm not sitting in that tub. No, thank you. I don't know if you're going to make it out of the tub. But then why would you check in with your mental well-being and your energetic health once a year? Or like, why would you check in with your goals once a year? Why would you check in with how you actually feel emotionally? Why would you do that once a year or once every couple of years, or when everything is like rock bottom because everything has fallen apart? Why not spend 15 minutes a day checking in with how you're feeling? Meditate, breath work, yoga, get an energy healer. Even if it's like twice a month, you go see somebody. Like, we all get our nails done and that's actually more expensive. So it's just like maybe one less nail appointment, add in an energy healer and see how everything can change. And it's not, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. That's like excuses of being scared of doing the work. But I promise you, avoiding the work takes more energy and is more uncomfortable than just doing the thing. Like, if anyone's been waxed, you don't want someone who's like, you just want to rip it and you're like, oh, I'm done.
Rip that Band-Aid off. All right. Awesome. If we want to reach out to Timea, tell us the best form in all forms, please.
Absolutely. My website is theurbanhealer.ca, CA because I'm in Canada. Online on Instagram, I'm the_urban_healer. I always have promos and giveaways. And if you want to sign up for my newsletter, there's a link on there. If you want to send me an email, hello@theurbanhealer.ca.
Perfect. Timea, thank you for your time today. As always, love having you here. Not sure if you celebrate Easter, but happy Easter.
I do.
To you.
Yes.
Perfect. Enjoy your holiday weekend then. And
thank you.
Happy egg hunting to you and the family.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Much love for the boys. See you later.
Thank you so much, Peter. Have a great day.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me. what scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.